These are some extremely unsettling facts, and I found all of these on Reddit. Now, it's fairly common knowledge to most people that the most painful way that a human could possibly die is from being burned alive. But having your body be burnt to a crisp isn't even the most terrifying part about it.
First off, I know that's not true. I've been burned alive before.
If you manage to keep consciousness while this whole thing is going on, you will realize that your eyes will actually start to melt while you are still awake. Which means not only will you have to deal with the pain of your entire body being scorched, you'll have to deal with the pain of your eyes melting out of your skull. Now, 9/11 is hands down one of the most terrifying, horrible days in American history. And this is just one of the terrifying stories that comes along with that day. There was a man who worked in the second tower that got hit and realized something was horribly wrong when the first tower was struck by the plane. So he took the elevator and made it all the way down to the lobby where he was stopped by a security guard. The security guard told him to just go back upstairs and wait in his office where he will be much safer. Moments after he made it back to his office, the second plane hit his building and he became trapped in his office. And if you look hard enough online, you can find this man's last phone call that he made to his father where he kept telling him that he just wishes that he left the building when he had the chance. I know I talk about a lot of dark stuff on here, so make sure to go check out my bio for something a lot more positive that could change your life. Jack Haley was the man who portrayed the Tin Man on The Wizard of Oz. His entire costume consisted of him wearing a metal suit with paint on his face. But this paint on his face was actually an aluminum paste that was put onto him to give him the appearance that his entire body was made of tin. Temperatures on set got to be very hot at many different points of filming, and this caused the aluminum paste on his face to melt into his eyes, which caused him to get a severe infection in both of his eyes. Due to this infection, he had to have several procedures done on his eyes, and this is just one more horror story from The Wizard of Oz. And look, I know hearing all these is very hard, and I just keep coming back with darker and darker facts, but that's why.
Unintentionally disturbing characters from children's shows, Part 1. Nosy Bunk, from Jigsaw, was a mute character who tried to solve a multitude of puzzles during the show. Limbo, from Sesame Street, was a Muppet made up of two floating eyes and a mouth over a black background speaking with a deep and calm voice.
Let's count to 10.
Him, from the Powerpuff Girls, was the secondary antagonist of the show and the devil of the world.
His name sounds very familiar.
This hotel is so haunted, it had actor Jim Carrey fleeing in the middle of the night. This is the infamous Stanley Hotel. The Stanley Hotel is most commonly known as the hotel that inspired Stephen King's The Shining. Yep, this one. The Stanley Hotel sits in hauntingly beautiful Estes Park, Colorado. It was opened in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley. It's called the Disneyland for Ghosts. Recently, a guest caught this ghostly woman in the window while taking a photo of the hotel's entrance. Here's a closer look. If you've seen The Shining, you know the infamous room that Danny is told to avoid. Well, that room is based on room 217 at the Stanley. Stephen King stayed there.
I have run out of time. Sorry, viewers.